John from Coding Goblin here. If you are looking to convert more of your website traffic into actual inquiries for your cleaning business, you're in the right place. This is an estimate calculator from estimatecalculators.com, and it basically goes on a custom domain or subdomain for your website, asks your users some questions like this, and gets them to pop their details in. Submit their details, and it provides them with an automated estimate. This is great for getting more leads to your business because it gives people an actual reason to submit an inquiry on your website. And you know what? It's got so many benefits. It saves you time, it saves you effort. It does a lot of the manual tasks that you would usually do for you automatically. And this is the sort of email both you, the business owner, and your potential customers will receive with an automated estimate. That is a bit low. I was just using sample numbers for that, but you can obviously tailor the amounts for your business. So I just want to go over a few things and show you how you can customize it, how you can make it your own, and just show you how easy it is to get set up. So if we go to My Calculators, and we're going to create a brand new estimate calculator, and we're going to do it from a template. So you can do it from scratch or from a template. I'm just going to do it from a template because it means I don't have to come up with so many questions. And we're going to deactivate that calculator. And now we will activate this one. And if we go to our calculator now, it will look different because we've created a new one and activated it. So restart, and this is what our default calculator looks like. So it's really easy to customize. So if we want to change the colors and the brand, we just go and edit our calculator, edit calculator settings, and then we can change all of these settings here. So let's have a play around with the brand first. So we can choose something different. This probably isn't what you'd go with, but you know, look, it will just do all these presets for you. And once you've done the preset, you're free to change it to anything you want. You don't have to stick with those, but it's a good starting point. So let's do something slightly different. So let's go for a nice dark color, slate dusk. And we're gonna change the font as well. I've got some presets down here. So let's just pick one of those and we'll save that, and then we'll see what that looks like. And you're going to see it looks very different, and it means you can basically make it match your existing brand. So there's lots of options for you to play around with and make it match your brand. And if we come to this last page here, you'll see we've got the following fields. We've got name, email address, and message. These fields can be customized as well. So you can change the values or you can add your own. The only required one by default is email address, because that is how we send the estimates to both you and your potential customers. So you cannot remove email address, but what we can do is we can add something else in if we want. So let's add a field. Let's add, you might want postcode, and that's going to be a text, and you can make it required or not required. So we'll make that required, and then if we save that and then come back to our calculator, restart, and then go through again. Oh, need to refresh it, sorry about that. I'll refresh it and try it again. So now if we go through, we'll see we have this postcode field here. And if we don't fill out all the fields, we'll get error messages telling us what we need to fill out on the required ones. Very nice indeed. So we can change all of this text. So you might want to have a different message here. So let's have a look. We can go and change that. I think that might be in settings rather than this particular page. So if we're going to, oh no, if we come to our main calculator here, so we can change the main title. So if we go to the beginning estimate the cost of your cleaning services. You might want to change that to something, so you can say, get your instant estimate now. And you can change all of this information to whatever you want. So that's really handy. Let's just save that so you can just see. So if we refresh that, this text is going to change. And of course, you can change all of these questions and all of the answers and the values. So the first part of your calculator is the services. So you can select a service. So each service has questions and each question has answers. So let's just say we want to have a look at one of these. Let's go. Okay, that's a bad example, but I'll show you a couple of the features rather than trying to come up with some different questions on the spot, because my brain isn't capable of that. So you might want to change the order of the services. So currently we've got deep cleaning, after builders cleaning, and end of tenancy clean. So we might want to change those around. So just click on change order, and then if we want to put deep cleaning at the end, drag them, and now the order has changed. So deep cleaning was at the beginning, but we've moved it to the end. So refresh that, and you'll see deep cleaning has moved to the end. So you have a lot of flexibility, and you can do exactly the same with questions. You can change the order of those, and you can do exactly the same with answers, which is very handy. Now, it's an estimate calculator, so that means we're giving estimates money. We're telling people how much. So with that in mind, I just want to show you exactly how that works so that you can get an idea of how you could incorporate it in your business. So you go to your service, maybe you've created a new service or you're editing a service, click edit service, and then you can select a base amount for each service. This can be £0 if you want it to be, but normally you would want it to be something. So if you want to say a base cost of any after builders clean before any additions have been entered, you might want to say that's £150. So the way it works is you put it in the lowest denomination. So we do it in pence. So if you can see down here, it tells you the actual value. So 15 isn't £15, that's actually 15 pence. So we actually need to say that amount for £150. So that's our starting point for after builders clean. So save that. And you'll see there, we've got our starting point there. You can also change the text for each service and a description, and you can leave the description blank if you wish to do that. So we've set the base for our after builders clean, and now we want to set the values associated with each answer. So are there hazardous materials? Yes. Currently we've got it set to an extra £1.50 if you've got hazardous materials that needs cleaning. That's a bargain. So I don't know how much you would want to charge for that. I don't know if that's a relevant question for your business. Quite possibly not. But let's just, in this hypothetical example, say that if it's hazardous stuff to clean, that's an extra £100. And if it's not, then it stays at 0, which it currently is. And then if we say what type of work was done, so this is for an after builders clean. So minor renovations, we can say that's going to be an extra £50. Major renovations, we might say that's an extra £75. And for a new build, we'll say that's an extra £100. Again, these are just random examples of pricing off the top of my head. These questions might not be relevant, as I said, so you would match this to your requirements and your business. So don't get worried like, oh, this isn't really relevant to my business, because you can make it relevant to your business. A good example is if you wanted to say, for a deep clean, you could put how many bedrooms are there, and each bedroom could have a monetary value. So one bedroom could be £25, two bedrooms could be £40, three bedroom, £65, whatever. You get the point. So the way that the estimate is actually calculated is by adding all of these selections together. So if someone selected after builders clean, it would start with the base of 150, and then based on the answers to these questions, these values would be added to that base, and that is the estimate that gets presented. So it's a really simple way of doing it. It doesn't need to be overly complicated, because at the end of the day, the purpose of this estimate calculator is to get people to submit an inquiry. It's not to give them a 100% accurate estimate or quote. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate. Obviously, we want to make it as accurate as possible, but it's to get that initial contact made with our business, because that's the hardest part. Quite often, people will land on our websites, and if we just have a standard contact form, they don't fill it out. They don't fill it out because there's no incentive to do so. And they're like, oh, I'm going to have to wait for someone to get back to me, and then I'm going to have a back and forth. They just want to get information quickly, and this is a great way of doing it. So if we go back to our estimate calculator now, and we can go and select after builders cleaning. Let's refresh it, and we'll see what sort of estimate we get. So before it was not much, but now we've actually added higher values. So let's have a look. New build, and we're going to say, put our details in here. This is an optional field, but we'll just fill it out there. Postcode. Send that off. And while we're here, this back to website button, this link can be changed. So we can set a custom domain or subdomain here. So you could have estimate.yourwebsite.com, whatever your website is. And then you could have a link here back to website, which links back to your main website. So yourwebsite.com. Right, let's have a quick look. So we've got our estimate through, and we can see we're getting a more realistic estimate value now. You can also see you're getting the information from the estimate. And it's important to note, you would probably have more questions than what is provided in this sample. And it'll be specialized or specific, should I say, to your business. So don't get too bogged down in this specific example, because this is just a random example. Let's have a look at what else we can configure. So if we go to settings, so this is the return URL, which I was mentioning. So this is what's visible here. That's where clicking this button will take you. So currently it takes you back to estimatecalculators.com. So you can add your own logo, obviously very handy. That's what's displayed up here. You can add your custom domain. So this can be any domain that you have control over. You can add a subdomain, or it can be the root domain if you wish. You can add your own email address. So currently the emails are sent from noreply@estimatecalculators.com. You are free to use that if you wish, but it's a better experience for your customers if you use your own email address. So you can do that by entering your email address here and your name, and then you just verify that email address with our email service provider. And then you can configure the email that is sent to your potential customers, which is very handy indeed. So if we have a look at the email, you'll see you've got the header here. That can be changed. So currently it's that. You can put a greeting, and then you've got these variables here. So you can use those variables to fill out your email. So you can use the service. So if you want to mention that service, it's quite handy. And you can select whether to show the answers that they provided and the questions. So it's really configurable. You can do a lot with it. You can customize it. You can make it match your brand. You can make it so relevant to your business. And it's a really powerful way of converting website traffic into actual inquiries for your cleaning business. So yeah, give it a go. Give it a go. I'll pop a link in the description so you can sign up to it. There are various pricing plans, so you can pick an option that is suitable for you. Any questions, just leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. Cheers.